Hi guys, so we are going to go over the study guide, and that way we can go over what formulas we need to use for each problem. So for number 1, it says to find the circumference, and with circumference we know that the formula is diameter times pi. So what we're going to do is find the diameter. So this is our radius. So going all the way across is our diameter. So if this is 2, then this half is 2. And we add them together, we get 2 plus 2, which gives us 4 for our diameter. Or you just take the radius times 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. So we're going to plug in our circumference equals our diameter times pi. So my diameter was 4. And so I have 4 times pi, which we put in as 3.14. And we get 12.56. And that is my answer. A way that it helps me think of diameter and circumference is if I wrote my letters. So diameter is a lowercase d. And so diameter has a long, tail, if you will, right? So it goes all the way across. While R, I'm going to write it sideways, but R is only halfway across. And it has a little, tail. So, that's kind of how I think of it whenever I write. I need to think of diameter and radius. 2 of my radius gives me 1 diameter. All right. Find the area of the circle. So now we're going to use the area formula, which is pi times r times r. So this is 3.14 times your radius, which is halfway across your circle. So that's 13 times 13. Try and color code it for you a little bit. And then you plug all of this into your calculator. So you do 3.14 times 13 times 13, and you get that your area equals 530.66. And that's your answer. So now we need to find the area of the half circle. So a whole circle is pi times r times r. But since it's half of a circle, we're going to divide it by 2. That way it gives us a half circle. So I need my radius, and this is all the way across, so 14 is my diameter. So that means that 7 is my radius because it's half of my diameter. So now I plug that in. So for pi, I plug in 3.14 times my radius, which was 7, times my radius, which was 7. And I plug all of that into my calculator. And when I do, I get, and I forgot my last step. And then I need to divide by 2 because it's a half circle. I even wrote that above. And when I plug all of that into my calculator, I get 76 and 93/100. Struggling today. All right, so for number 4, we are finding the area of both the little shapes, and then we add them together to get the area of the big shape, like the total. So the first shape that I see is a rectangle. So I see this rectangle right here, and we take the length times the width. So we have length times width. So we do 12.4 times 15.5. And that gives me 192.2. Then I have a triangle. And for a triangle right here, there's actually little arrows pointing to these sides. Those are the sides that you use because this is my base and my height. And for a triangle, we have 1/2 the base times the height, which means I do 9.3 times 12.4. And to multiply by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing by 2. When I plug all of that into my calculator, I get 57 66/100. And now I add both of these together. So 192.2 plus 57 66/100 equals 249 86/100. So 249 86/100. So you find the area of each individual shape, and then you add them together. For the to find the value of x, what we do is we take what we know. This little box is telling me that I'm going to set my equation equal to 90. So it's a 90-degree angle. And then I have this angle in green, so x plus 9. And this angle in pink, so plus 44, makes up that entire 90-degree angle. And then all you do is subtract, because it's the opposite of adding. So minus 44, which is 46, equals x plus 9. And again, I'm adding, so that's plus 9, so I'm going to do minus 9. And I get 37, so x equals 37. So this right here equals 37. All right, over here, we can see that this is a straight line. And so I'm actually going to color all of this away because I don't need it. To get from here to here, I go 10x. And then to get from here to here, which makes it a straight line. So it's this angle plus this angle. It gives me 180 degrees. On your test, it might be that it makes up a 90-degree angle. You just need to make sure that you're paying attention. So now I can combine like terms. So this has an x, and this one has an x. So I'm going to box both those in because I can actually combine them. So 10 plus 26 is 36. We keep our x equals 180. We divide by 36, and we get x equals 5. For number 7, it says that x and y are complementary angles. X and y are supplementary angles. So that means that when I add them together, they give me the straight line. So this angle right here is x, and this angle right here is y. And they're supplementary, so when I add them, they equal 180. And that makes sense because this here is 180 degrees. I just put squared. It was supposed to be degrees. But if they're both supplementary, that means they add up to be 180, could they be vertical? So could I have x here and y here? And the answer is yes, because if this is 90 degrees and this is 90 degrees, 90 plus 90 gives me 180. So this is sometimes. Because over here, they're not vertical, they're adjacent. So since we have an option of it being adjacent or vertical, it's going to be sometimes. All right, for number 9, the circumference and the area. So we have circumference equals diameter times pi, and the diameter is all the way across, so that's 70. So we have 70 times 3.14. Just ignore this fraction, there's no need. We're going to use 3.14. And we get 192.2 But it says to round your answer to the nearest whole number. So this, oh, not 192. I'm sorry, this is 119. 219.8. There we go. So this 8 makes this round up. So we have 220. If you forget to round, it's not a big deal. I'm not counting off for it. For area, we have pi r times r. So that means the radius, because this was our diameter, so we want half of the diameter. So 70 divided by 2 gives me my radius. So 70 divided by 2 is 35 equals my radius. So I'm going to do 3.14 times my radius of 35 times my radius of 35. And I get 3,846.5. This 5 is bigger than a 4. Remember, 5 and up, we round up. So that makes this 6 turn to a 7. So we have 3,847. If you put either of these in as your answer on the test, I will go back and count them correct. So it says find the values. So this angle right here is 61. And so since this one's 61, this one also equals 61 across from it because they're vertical. So I have x minus 10 equals 61. So I'm going to, since I'm subtracting 10, I add 10. And I get 71 equals x. So that is my answer.